All right, welcome back to Market Day Report. I'm Scott Shellady, otherwise known as the Cow Guy. Thank you very much for tuning us in. Looking forward to seeing you here today. Let's take a look at the markets. They've been mildly interesting, right? We recovered a little bit, so we were a little easier across the board when I did the radio show here this morning. But now we've got some air underneath our wings, especially now in corn. We're up 5.5 cents. Look, we standing ovation. 477 though is all we can get with 5.5 cents higher. So that's still not good enough, if you ask me. But it's a new high, and it's about a 10-cent range. So we're at the top of a new high and 10.5. Well, let's see, what is that? It's not quite a 10-cent range, but still pretty good going. 9.25 cents if you want to be exact. That's D's corn. 476 and 3/4 is last. We were just at 477. 5.25 cents higher in the day. So again, a good board. 477 is the high. We're at 476 and 3/4. All right, let's move over to soybeans. Well, I obsess a little bit too much on corn. Soybeans are down by about a penny across the board. Knowles down a penny. 13.15 and 3/4 is last. 4 cents off the highs, about 8 cents off of the lows, and that'll give you an idea about the almost a 12-cent range where we sit. That's soybeans. November, the price 13.16, just about 1.25 cents lower in the day. Let's move on to see what we've got going on in wheat. Chicago wheat's down 2 3/4 cents to 588.5. That's in the middle of the range. We've had about an 11-cent range. We're about 4 cents from the highs and 7 cents from the lows. And that's down 3 cents, right? 588.25 is last there. D said, we go all the way out the deferreds. We start to see a little bit of green. We're 1 tick better in July and 3/4 cent better in SEP. From Chicago wheat, we go to Kansas City. That's the hard red. Let's see what that's doing. It's just a little bit better on the day, too. A lot of everything's sticking around that unchanged line, the equatorial even line. Deese is up 1.5 cents to now just up a penny to 7.36. That's a penny and 3/4 off the highs. And so, we've got a decent range over there today, I guess about 15 cents. So we're closer to the high of the day, so hard red's not doing too bad. A penny higher, 7.36 is the price. That's Deese. From the hard red, we go to the spring wheat. That's in Minneapolis. 3 cents higher there in that Deese contract. 7.80.5 is last. A penny and 3/4. No, a penny and 1/4 off the highs. That's pretty good going, right? We've had 14-cent range over there as well. 2.25 cents better. Spring wheat, 7.79 and 3/4 is last. Upper end of a 14-cent range. Not bad. Then take a look at cotton. What's cotton got in store for us? Well, it's got a 50-point gain in store for us. 87.50 is last. That's about, 92 points off of the high. And there you go. Not too bad. 50. We were a little bit better during the morning, but still 50 points better. That decent. Maybe we make another run at that 90 level. We'll see. But we got slapped back down pretty hard the last time we were there. Let's bring in our next guest analyst. That's going to be Tommy Garcafi. He's with Advanced Trading in Valparaiso, Indiana. Tommy, thanks for being on. All right. You got the tie on and everything today.
I hope I get the job.
Yeah, right. I hope you do too. Yeah, I hope you get the loan too. What are your thoughts here? We're not doing too much today.
No, but we used to open up on a Sunday night and have a 10-cent range in corn on the opening. Within the first few minutes, we might open down 8 and trade down 18, or gap 10 higher and trade 18 higher. But you were excited today to say that corn went from down 4 to up 5. You were trying to do the math. You got a little bobbled up there when you said you thought hard. It was 10 cents.
You said there'd be no math. You said there'd be no math.
All of a sudden, Suzanne, I saw your shoes come off. But yet, in seriousness, though, it's nice to see the markets bounce at harvest. That's a really great sign. Now, we know the negative news. I can look right in the camera and go over our playlist that you hear from every analyst. You guys do a ton of these all day, every day. We know the river's low. We know the Panama Canal. We know demand stinks. That's not new news. What we don't know is how is the final yield and how much staying power does the American farmer have? We are full-blown harvest right now across the Midwest, and there's a lot of space. There's space in elevators to fill up. There's a lot of people who have some good stuff forward sold. The stuff they don't have forward sold, what are they going to do with it? And harvest is it's going to be interesting. I think you and I we joked yesterday after the show that we're going to have harvest lows. We're going to bounce from here, but where that is, I don't know from here, right? But we're doing it. This is a nice little bouncing action. Do we take out new lows from here? Maybe. But over history, both the cash market and the futures market tends to rally from these few weeks here into March. But not everyone has room to store all that. So it just shows you how important it is to plan and stay ahead of this stuff. It's nice to see the markets rally, but we were at much higher prices. So rallies will be rewarded, but we're not going to rally dollars anymore. At least if we are, then the options market has it wrong. The volatility in grain options is at really, really low prices. So if you think we're going to go up, options are on sale. That's my point, Scott.
Yeah,
Back to you.
by up and down 65 by you, or now east and west on 30. Is there a lot of guys rolling?
They are, but the yields I heard from a friend in La Crosse, Indiana, he said the seed corn went well, so they're picking the seed corn. Everything else, no, we're not quite going here. We're very green and wet. East Chicago, Indiana, which you know where that is, beautiful. East Chicago had 5 inches of rain this weekend, so we're still getting heavy rains up here in the Midwest in the Great Lakes area.
Right.
We need that rain to be on the Mississippi River.
Yep. Okay. Stay right there. We're going to go away. We're going to pay some bills. We're going to come back and talk more with Tommy Garcafi, Advanced Trading, right after this. All right, welcome back. Let's talk about the livestock, right? That'll be a little bit interesting to compare to what we've seen go on in the grains. Let's bring up that live cattle board in Chicago. What has it got for us? It's got a small loss on the day, steady, a little bit easier. That's what the October live cattle price is. 35 cents lower right now at 185.97, and that's not too far from the lows, just about 32 cents off of the lows as we speak. How about feeders? What's going on over there? They were a little bit easier, and they still are. We're $1.05 lower in that October contract. 259.90 is last, and that also is about 82 cents off of the lows. That's 259.90. We're down $1.05. That's October feeder cattle. Then finally, let's get to the lean hogs. We'll get back to our guest analyst. They're higher today by $1.80. 76.22 is last, and that's about 45 cents off the high there. All right, let's bring back in Tommy Garcafi, Advanced Trading. Tommy, anything light your fire when we talk about the livestock?
Interesting price action in livestock. We did see some selling finally in the feeders here today, but this morning on your first round of guests, that was a much higher board in both live cattle and feeder cattle. It's been a while since I remember that feeder cattle were up 300, say, and then all of a sudden you look an hour later and they're making lows on the day. People might be taking profits. You know, we think of the feeder and cattle market as the only people using it are hedgers. That's not true. There's a massive speculative fund long, and I don't know when the red line will cross the green line, but I like to get a life vest while they're still handing them out, not when we're offered 4,000 contracts limit down and going to gap limit down the next day. And we probably will see some price action like that by the end of the year.
Yeah, I mean, I'm getting back to the feeders. I mean, I haven't seen a chart in a while. I haven't looked at one in a few days, but I mean, I reckon we could still see some down days, Tommy, and we haven't breached. We're still on an uptrend, right?
Mega uptrend that, as Dennis Gartman would say, the chart's going from the bottom left to the top right. Mm-hmm. But Dennis Gartman's not going to write you a check if you forget to get out, right? So
exactly right.
Take profits, buy puts, do something.
Thanks, Tommy. Really appreciate your content. Tommy Garcafi is with Advanced Trading in Valparaiso, Indiana. We're in Nashville. I'll hand it back over to Suzanne.
Thank you, Scott.